In 2012, we decided, having done various limited releases, small limited releases, no more than 7,000 or 8,000 bottles each, that actually the general public were getting a bit sort of, they'd had enough of that. They wanted something that was, and we needed to move something that was always going to be available on the shelves. So we dreamt up Machir Bay. We didn't dream it up, but my old distillery manager, and you'll know him well, Charlie MacLean, who sadly died a few years ago. He came to work with me from Bunnahabhain. And he'd been at Bunnahabhain 20 odd years, and he liked what we were doing, so he became manager with us, and he is responsible for the name, because he said, well look, we're 2 minutes from the most famous beach on Islay.
Absolutely.
Machir Bay.
Gorgeous,
you should call,
white sand.
Yeah, I mean, so you should call it that, because we weren't going to put age statements on it at this stage, because this is 4, 5 and 6 years of age. So I'm going to open and pour this now, and this is a vatting of 90% first fill bourbon, 10% Oloroso sherry butts. Okay?
There we are.
And I suppose Jim had a big bearing on this. He said, oh no, your stuff's going to be classic in bourbon maturation. Don't put too much sherry, but put enough just to soften it and give it a little bit of colour and brightness, especially at a young age. And so we went with 10%. We've never changed it since then, and it's worked, and everyone seems to enjoy it. So you don't change something that's working.
Yeah, no, exactly.
And this, to me, the signature Kilchoman is lemon and citrus notes. I get it on everything, but especially on bourbon maturation.
Is bottle strength here?
46. 46, natural colour, and a softness and a sweetness that you wouldn't expect in something quite so young. And I think that's the key for our success, is that it's very approachable at a relatively young age.
It's certainly lemony.
Yeah, lemony then.
It's light, and it is slightly maritime. It's very gently smoky, I must say. I mean, I'm surprised that it's not.
Yeah, and that's 50 ppm. But our spirit is quite sweet and floral and clean, and it doesn't have these hard-hitting notes that maybe Ardbeg, which uses the same malt spec as us. And it's a completely different single malt.
It is, absolutely.
Which makes all the difference. So you have your own individuality, which is key.
Yes.
I think that what this has done is bring together what works well for us as a signature single malt. So Machir Bay now is our biggest selling single malt.
Is it really?
Because it's most competitively priced. So this is
well, that helps.
Pushed into areas where you get more volume. And we're not going to change it a lot. We will probably we'll add a little older stock to it as we get hold of it. But the problem is, as you'll know in the whiskey industry, trying to predict what production you need to do isn't like making chocolate bars. You need so many for the following year's sales. We need to know what we're going to be selling in 5, 6, 10, 15 years time.
But in the mouth, that on the palate, it's a classic Kilchoman. Yeah, sweet, surprisingly sweet to start with. Salty, and then a bit of smoke in the back.
Bit of smoke, integrated smoke in the back, but not punchy smoke. And I think
not in your face.
That's the difference. But when you tell people it's 50 parts per million of phenols at the malting stage, they find that hard to believe, because if you tasted it blind and tried to tell someone what sort of peating levels, you'd say it was quite light, I think.
Did Machir Bay, or the original release from Kilchoman, was that as heavily peated as Machir Bay?
It was. And we've never wavered from the same peating specification. It's always been the same from what we buy from Port Ellen. Everything that we do ourselves, we malted on site, so we control every aspect. And now we're doing different peating levels and stuff. But the fascinating thing is, in a small distillery, we can, yeast varieties being changed and all that sort of thing. But Machir Bay to us is something that's worked really well. Is always visible around the marketplace, and that's what we wanted. And we will over the next few years change the vatting and increase the age profile.
And then introduce other expressions.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, anyway, good luck to you. Great, it's a lovely drum.